Hi everyone. In this video, we're going to be covering a lot of stuff using SQL select statements. Now, I want to preface by saying there's not one video that could possibly include every single thing you may ever need to know about a SQL select statement. I myself find from time to time I need to go back for a quick refresher. So I personally like to use the W3 schools. They have a great SQL tutorial for looking at all sorts of things with select statements. You can see all the different things you can do, and it's just in a really easy to digest format. So if that's something that's helpful to you, I'd certainly encourage you to check out that resource. Now, essentially with a select statement, what we're able to do is we're able to return data that's inside of a table. And when we do that, we have so much flexibility for what exactly we're returning. So in the previous video, I ran this select star or asterisk from song. And what that does is that returns every single thing that I have inside of the song table. So the asterisk there is acting as what's called the SQL wildcard. And what it's doing is it's selecting all records and all columns. So all rows and all columns from whichever table or tables you select. So let's back up a little bit and talk about the different parts of a select statement. At a very minimum, you have to have the word select. You have to tell it what you're selecting. You could use the asterisk if you want to select everything. You could use a particular column if you'd only want to select a column, or you could do columns. It's kind of up to you there. But you have to tell it first what you're selecting, and then second, where you're getting it from. Okay, so in this case, we're using the song table. Those are the two things that you must have. You don't have to end there, though. You could certainly continue going, and that may be advisable in a lot of circumstances. So this is what we have to have. I'm just going to go ahead and select the title column from the song table. And when I run that, you'll see that it just returns the title column. I can see that I have one record. That title is Bohemian Rhapsody. Now, that's sort of like the bare minimum. Now, essentially, there are other things you can put to select different things. So for example, a select statement can include the word select to tell it which column or columns to return. It can include rather the term from. Now the from is telling it which table or tables it's getting the records from. Okay, whoops, ignore that changing that for me automatically. Next, you can include where. So where is going to be used to restrict the rows that is being returned. What I mean by that is instead of returning every single record from a table, okay, you can actually use where to say only return it where a particular field equals something. Okay, so maybe you wanted to see songs that were released in the year 1975. You could say where year equals 1975 here, and essentially that will be part of your query. Okay, so let me fill this in as we sort of go here. And then after where, you can specify what's called a group by. And to group by, what you're essentially doing is you're aggregating your results by a grouping variable. I see this happen a lot in business where you have different quarters. And you want to group the sales, for example, by quarter. You could say group by, and I know this isn't something that I have in the song table, but you could say group by quarter, and that's going to group your results by your quarter variable. Now, after you do that, you can specify the group by. You can specify having if you want. So essentially, with having, it's very similar to where in that you're restricting the rows you're returning. The difference is that you can use aggregate functions here. Aggregate functions include max, they include the min, they include average, and there's a few others as well. So you could say having the max year released or something like that. Okay. And then finally you have order by. Now what you do with order by is you essentially are able to order your output by a particular column or columns. So those are the basic parts of what you can include inside of a select statement. Again, you only have to have select and from. You can choose to just have select from order by. You can have select from group by. It's really completely up to you at that point. There's a lot of additional examples and stuff that you could run through. I definitely recommend you check some of those out. But that's the basics on what a select statement is. So look forward to doing some practice. But apart from that, I hope you have a great rest of your day.